Today on 3D Outdoors, we're going to be changing the spark plugs on our Polaris Ranger right after this. All right, getting ready for our trip to the hills and going trail riding. And this is a 2016, and I have yet to change the plugs in it. Getting a little misfiring here and there, so I thought, you know what? In the other video you seen, I changed out the air filter. That needed it pretty badly. Now I'm going to change out the plugs quick here. It's had an oil change not too long ago, so we're good there. But the other maintenance activity I want to get done here is changing the plugs out. There are two on this. And my first bit of advice would be, don't necessarily go to your major dealer to get the plugs, because they're going to charge you quite a bit for it. I just went to the local auto parts store and they were able to look it up online and pull the plug that I needed, which was an NGK and a certain part number. I won't give you a part number because depending on your year it might change. I think 2013 to 2019 are the same, and then they change, so you'll have to look that up on your own. But I think the process will be pretty similar here. So let's get after that. I will start up the GoPro, take you along, show you some tips and tricks as we go. All right, the first tip that I'd give you would be to look up your specifications for your particular plug. And what I did is I just simply went online and looked it up. The torque spec is 7.4 foot-pounds of torque on the plug, and the gap is right there. So I'll double check the gaps with my gapper tool before I put them in. The next thing is, what kind of tools do you need to get that out of there? And what you find on these are, they are way down in there. You need a special long, thin socket and a super long one. I happen to have the entire Quinn set so that I can pretty much change the plugs in anything. I picked that up at Harbor Freight for a very reasonable price, especially with the discount they were running. Limited lifetime warranty, the SAE and metric. So there is a tip on that. Let's get over here to the rig itself. Like I said, there are two plugs there, and we're going to get started on that. The vehicle's nice and cool, so I'm not going to burn myself. First, you'll pull the plug wire up and out. Pretty simple, just pop it right loose. Didn't even need a specialized tool. They show a special tool, but I did not need it. But you can see how long that is. That's why you need that specialized socket to get all the way down in there. And what I did ahead of time is I took my vacuum, and you can see there's still a little piece of crud right there. I'm going to grab my vacuum and hit that again. To take the vacuum and vacuum anything that could fall down in there out of the way. Because we don't want any junk getting down in there. Since it's nice and cool, I can use the heat deflector there, heat guard, as a tray. Get our tool all the way down in there, and you see how easy that came loose. They're, like I said, they're only 7.4 foot-pounds of torque on those. Now this spark plug tool has a plastic gasket in it, or grommet I should say, that holds on to the spark plug, which is very handy considering you're going to have to, after you unscrew it, you're going to have to lift it all the way up and out of there. Almost. Quite a bit of thread there. And there comes the old plug right there. Alright, let's get the new one on the plug wrench here and we'll get it dropped in. Alright, we got the new one just pressed right into the tool there. As you can see, it holds it in place, which is great. And we'll just lower that straight down in there. So we get to the bottom, a little counterclockwise action first and then clockwise. That way the threads line up. And as you remember, don't get impatient. There were a lot of threads there. A lot of threads. There we can see, feel we got to the bottom. And to be honest, I'm not even going to grab the torque wrench because it's such a low torque, and you've seen how easily I got that out. I'm just going to take my hand and do that, and that should be tight enough. Now you can use a torque wrench, recommend it if you want to. I just didn't, and I'm going to put this one back on. Make sure it's seated good. We'll do the same process with that one, and then we'll get right back to you. It's as easy as that. You can do that at home yourself. You don't have to take that into your dealership or vendor or anything like that. You can see how quickly that went, how easily that went. Now all we got to do is start it up and run it. And we're all set to head to the hills. This is Dan with 3D Outdoors, reminding you to get into the outdoors and enjoy everything it has to offer. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and you can always follow us over at 3d-outdoors.com, which is our website where we put everything together. See you next time.